Wine and Crime contains graphic and explicit content which may not be suitable for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
You look amazing. I love it.
Oh my God. Okay. You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where three friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And for our
The baby's
Patreon
sleeping.
supporters who can access the video episodes, my pregnancy melasma is on
Ooh.
full display.
I just thought you had a blotchy tan.
It's freckles.
It's cute. I like
Like
it.
Tan.
an old spray tan.
Yeah.
Tan from DR and pregnancy melasma.
I'm practicing for the arrival of your baby by gently rocking my wine bottle.
Oh, okay. I love that.
I'm barely hanging on.
Yeah. I woke up 10 minutes ago and I prioritized coffee over
I
makeup.
don't know how I'm the most together today, but
Yeah.
I am really going to lean into it.
Yeah. All right.
I'm fine, except for the diarrhea.
This reminds me of one of the many times we were on tour in 2019 and we were way more broke than we even are now. And so we were taking way earlier in the day flights, and I would like get this weird burst of energy at the airport, and you two would be fucking miserable and not into my bullshit.
You
at all.
At 8 a.m. at the airport.
It was like Moses and the fucking Red Sea at the airport. Amanda would be completely on her own, and me and Lucy would be watching videos of kids getting hurt.
I went and made friends in the Starbucks line because my friends wouldn't hang out with me.
I had my
energy.
My headphones in, my neck pillow, just a don't fucking talk to me look.
Less than halfway through that first tour, we suddenly weren't requesting seats next to each other on the planes anymore.
Suddenly.
I don't think I ever did. Probably
We
slipped the
tried.
gate agent to 5 to like, please
We
put
tried
me
in the
back.
beginning, and then when we would go check in, we'd be like, just any seat is fine.
Any. I don't need to be on this plane.
Yeah.
I just need to end up in the city where we're going.
Is there any space down where they put the dogs and cats?
Oh, it's
I'll take
overbooked?
that.
I'll take the credit.
We were much better this time around because it was a shorter tour.
And we were all
You're
on meds.
medicated.
Yeah. All of us.
Yeah.
Finally.
Medicated.
All right.
Anyway, okay.
Who are we
All
and
right.
why are
Oh.
we here?
Oh.
I'm Kenyon Lang, and I endorse this message.
Oh, no.
I'm Lucy, and I am once again asking for your forgiveness preemptively for my segment.
I'm Amanda, and I'm running for Mouth Congress in 2069.
Oh my God. Well, we have a very special fan pick
fly
this
in here.
week, brought to you by Steven, or maybe Stefan. Probably Steven.
Probably Steven.
Yeah.
Stefan.
Stephen O'Hara, and Stephen has selected the topic of Beyond Stupid. Let us pick the fill in the blank.
Uh-oh.
And we have selected
Kenyon
Beyond
has selected.
Stupid politicians. I think this was your idea, Lucy.
No.
Oh.
You've been in your feels about politics quite a bit lately. This was
Who
definitely you.
Yeah. Hence my blood pressure reaching scary new heights.
Uh-huh. Keep an eye on that. But this one's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's not preeclampsia.
Yet. Yeah. Beyond stupid politicians, really, where do we even start? There's so many. First, let's get lubed up. I'm drinking espresso. Amanda, what are you cradling?
Oh, okay. Well, y'all are going to be, not just y'all in this chat, but y'all in the world are going to be very mad at me because this is an exclusive, one-of-a-kind wine that my neighbor made.
Oh,
Tom Hoban.
It wasn't Tom. This is my second time featuring a from the hands of some rando wine. But it was so funny. This was like a few months ago. I was having some backyard hangout with fire or whatever, and my neighbor Ed, who lives like across the alley behind us, he stops by all the time. He's super nice. And he heard that we were like outside having a little party, so he came by and brought a bottle of wine, and I was like, "Hey, like come hang out." And he was like, "No, I have my kids this weekend. I'm fucking exhausted. I just wanted to drop this off." And he made this wine I want to say in California, like on a trip that he was taking. And he did it in 2020. And so he named it like very specifically. And it's fucking perfect. So today we are drinking Ed's Here's to Not Having a Mental Breakdown, Old Vine Zinfandel.
Cheers to that. It's a
It's
lot
just
harder than
perfect.
it sounds.
It's really hard. The only information I have on this particular bottle is that it's 12% ABV. So I thought I would just share a couple of fun facts about Zinfandel. Its origins are Croatian, which I thought was super fucking cool. So in the early 2000s, researchers at UC Davis concluded that California Zinfandel, which is like massive, is genetically identical to the Primitivo grape, which we've talked about before, from the Puglia region in Italy.
Is it the one that's spelled Puglia?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like
And since
that region.
Primitivo is not native to Italy, Zinfandel's origins still remained a mystery, and scientists took their research a step further and eventually discovered just 9 vines of an ancient Croatian varietal called... A lot of consonants. Okay. Klingenschmidt Kastelanski
Nailed it.
on the Dalmatian coast. And through DNA analysis, they proved that these vines were identical to California's Zinfandel, but like far older. So I thought that was super fucking cool.
I really
Yeah.
want to go to Croatia.
Me
Lucy and I
too.
tried to go when we were backpacking and penniless,
Mhm.
and there was
so
No way.
beyond broke.
Yeah.
so penniless.
It wasn't
And,
gonna happen.
Well, no, we were set to go, and then there was like a ferry workers strike.
We
Good
were
for
a day
them.
behind because all of the transportation workers in the country of Greece just struck.
Yeah.
And then we also were stranded in this gorgeous apartment on Corfu. So we're like, we're just going to stay here for another 4 days.
we're good.
Skip
We're
an entire
fine.
country. I don't
Yeah.
regret it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Another fun fact about Zinfandel, which I think we've sort of touched on before, it actually fell out of fashion and like barely
Not
survived.
for my grandparents. It
No,
didn't.
well, thanks to them. It like barely survived Prohibition. And then it was met with the biggest threat to its existence in California because the wine drinking trends just like moved people away from Zinfandel. It was like an old fuddy-duddy wine, hence your grandparents.
Yep.
But by the 1960s, Chardonnay and Cab Sauv were the trendiest, most sought-after grapes in California, and vintners began replacing their Zinfandel vines with like Cabernet and Chardonnay because they were selling better. But not Bob Trinchero, who used his
The old classics.
Sutter Home Winery Zinfandel to produce a dry wine in the rosé style. So Sutter Home literally single-handedly revived the Zinfandel trend.
Oh my
I believe
God.
it. That's
Isn't that
the only
amazing?
wine my grandparents ever had in their home. And my
I'm telling
grandma would pour a glass for herself on Monday. Maybe she didn't do this with the wine.
And
She did
sip
this
it
with
once a
hard
day.
alcohol. She would pour like a G&T or something and like sip it halfway,
Oh God, I hope it wasn't a G&T.
fill it with water, cover it in tin foil, put it back in the fridge. Tuesday, drink half, fill it with water, cover it in the same tin foil,
Grandma.
put it back in the fridge,
That is
and
such
then
a grandma thing to
start
do.
over the next week.
I mean, my grandma, no.
What's the story with white Zin?
There are red Zinfandels and white Zinfandels. It comes in many styles. So Zinfandel styles are as diverse as its history is rich. In addition to white Zinfandel, Zinfandel is often made into a rosé style, a rich table wine with balance and complexity, or the big style Zinfandel, which is made from more ripe grapes and exhibits the jammy characteristics many know and love in this wine. So what it sounds like
Just the
is
age of the
white
grape?
Zinfandel, is they harvest the grape when it's younger and it hasn't developed all of its color yet, and then they remove it from the skins a lot faster in the fermentation process. So remember that like the color of the grape or the color of the wine has the most to do with the skin contact. And so a lot of rosés are made from, say, Pinot Noir, and they will ferment them without contact to the skin for more than like I don't know, a day. And then they like filter all the skins out and then continue to ferment the wine.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think white Zinfandel is just younger and like very little to no skin contact would be my educated guess.
Okay.
I love little to
Yeah.
no skin contact.
I do too. So there are obviously a lot more fun facts about Zinfandel, but I'm going to cut this short. And I was really just stalling because I had put on lotion and I was hoping it would absorb better so that I could get this bottle open. But alas. So let's see. I'm using my, oh God, I'm already slipping. I'm using my XOXO, the Wine and Crime Gals iridescent wine key. And my God,
So
is she
fucking
stunning.
Which we are not reordering, people.
Yeah.
So if you've been thinking
Just-
about it, you got to get it.
Yeah. Shit or get off the pot.
Get on our level.
Okay. Here. Oh, all right. I'm having success. I'm going to edge it.
Oh.
And here we go.
Oh, that was a very nice pop.
That was a really
Very
fucking
nice
good pop.
pop.
Oh. Ooh. It's very purple.
Ooh, lots of skin contact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it smells really good. It smells really jammy.
Your fave.
I know. I'm excited. I fucking love Zinfandel. It's like,
I guess I thought Zinfandel was only the Sutter Home Rosé because that's, again, the only thing my grandparents had.
yeah.
So when you said that it could be different colors, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it has to be a really bright pink.
Yeah. Well, in
And
white,
really
quote unquote,
watered down.
Yeah, white Zin. A lot of times you'll see it in variation. It doesn't usually show up like Chardonnay does,
Yeah.
but it looks kind of like rosé. But
Okay.
it's pretty good. I'm excited. Okay, this is very inky. It's got great legs. I'm pumped about it. Here we go.
Good. Ed did good.
Oh, Ed. Oh,
Nice.
It's so smooth. Oh.
Mandy's getting day drunk.
Mandy's getting day drunk.
Off red wine.
I'm gonna have red wine mouth.
All right, let's move
Cheers,
on.
everybody.
At 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
not?
It's summer.
It's 5 o'clock.
weekend.
What is our background and maybe psych for Beyond Stupid Politicians?
Or neither, neither, or both.
This one calls for the big bones.
Oh.
There's no psych.
The psych is
What are those femurs?
they're all obsessed with themselves or they wouldn't become politicians.
These
Right.
are the really big goat bones.
Ooh, they're hollow.
They look enormous. What size goat was that?
I don't know, a goat.
Goats are big.
That's its shoulder, scapula.
I love that someone made you
There's
the
a
jar
rib.
that says shake your goat bones,
I
too.
know.
It's amazing.
I love all the bones that are sent to me.
We have the best listeners ever.
We really do. I've
really
checked the
do.
P.O. box tomorrow because
Woo, Lock.
More
I have a
presents.
feeling there's more bones coming. I got someone's cremains last week.
Yeah, dead Evelyn.
Dead Evelyn.
Wow.
All right.
That was her Christian name.
Yep. Her God-given Christian name.
This baby looks like a dead Evelyn.
I love dead Evelyn.
She's magical. Okay.
Bless.
So my segment today is really just a list of asinine quotes from politicians.
Yes, I have a
Perfect.
good amount of those in my segment too. I can't wait.
And a lot of them are from Dan Quayle,
Yes.
such as this first one. Quote, "The Holocaust was an obscene period in our nation's history. I mean, in this century's history. But we all live in this century. I didn't live in this century."
Well, lot to unpack.
I know.
So, who was Dan Quayle besides a
He was
recurring
gonna
bit
Google
on
who
SNL?
was Dan
Bush
Quayle.
Senior's VP.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Mhm. There's a
Okay.
picture. My only photo for my segment is a picture of Dan Quayle. He just looks so vacant.
Oh my God, he really does. Okay.
There's not a lot going on.
Amazing.
Like it might just be a bad photo, but he looks
He
glazed
He
over.
looks like an 80s version of the candidate in Parks and Rec, where he's like, terrific. Stay cool out there.
It's a hot one. You could cook an egg on those sidewalks. Terrific. I am just adding, I'm going to add 100 pictures of Dan Quayle to the drive. He is
a lot of good ones.
absurd.
Oh.
Okay, so this next one is from George W. Bush. Quote, too many good docs are getting out of the business. Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country.
What? What? What?
You can see what he was going for, and it just didn't stick the landing.
Okay, I'm Google image searching every person that you quote and just
Perfect.
plopping pictures in the drive for
I
you
love
because
it.
it's really fun with the visual aid.
Yeah.
Imagining this.
A lot of them are repeated, such as the next one from Donald Trump at a rally.
That
Quote,
picture I'm not putting in, but
I know, we don't need
I recommend you look at the picture of George W. Bush I found while thinking about practicing their love all over the country.
oh God. Oh, I'm refreshing. Ew, Jesus. Oh my God.
God.
Seriously, guys, I have a lot of quotes to go.
I know, keep going. I love this.
So Trump at a rally, quote, look at my African American.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How was that not a bigger deal in the news?
Because
I don't know, and
nobody
there
gives a
were-
fuck about racism.
There were so many Trump quotes.
Yeah,
So
it
the
was
ones
just
that
a
I have in
deluge.
here are the ones that are
Lesser known.
Yeah. Lesser known Trump
Oh
quotes.
my God.
Well, that just about sums it up, doesn't it?
Yep.
So this next one is from Ronald Reagan. Quote,
yes,
facts
Googling.
are stupid things.
Solid.
And he was attempting
Facts are stupid things.
to quote John Adams, who said facts are stubborn things, which are two totally different sentiments.
very different.
Opposite. Wow. Ronald
George-
Reagan was another big piece of shit.
Uh-huh.
Lots of pieces of shit.
Yeah. George W. Bush, quote, rarely is the question asked, is our children learning?
I remember this one.
Yeah, that was a big deal. at
We
the time.
quoted that one a lot
Yeah.
in high school.
Yeah. Is our children learning?
Is our
No.
children learning?
We decorated our debate tubs with stupid George W. quotes, remember?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were accused of like terrorism by the librarian.
Were we?
Yes.
Because we kept using the printer to print these out.
No, she found our tubs and we had drawn all over them. And one of
Pentagrams.
well, there
George
was
Bush
stuff
quotes.
about because our whole case that year was about WMDs.
Mhm.
Yes. It
And
was
so
in the
we
lead
had-
up to the Iraq War.
We wrote war crimes, schmore crimes. And then there was some inside joke about that she interpreted it as us joking about a child being hit by a car. Don't you remember she reported us?
I think I remember the one and only time my mom ever like intervened with like a school administrator or
I think this was
adult being something related to some bullshit with debate. My mom was like, "Oh no, I am going to say something." So maybe it was this.
It was the cranky librarian.
Well, fuck that bitch.
I had already been put on the Minnetonka shit list for wearing my I Heart Pro-Choice Boys on the t-shirt on the morning announcements.
Oh, yes, I remember
I wore that T-shirt all the time. Like we each had one.
Oh yeah,
I
because
wore
we got
that
them
thing all
at the
the
Vagina
time.
Monologues. It was
But
Vagina
Amanda was on
Monologues
morning
merch.
announcements.
Mhm.
She had a
And then I
wider
wore
audience.
I wore it in my coffee house performance, and it ended up in the yearbook.
Oh
The
yeah.
school board was not pleased, but sorry.
Whatever.
Look at us disruptors
I
back
know.
in 2002.
Gentle disruptors.
Okay. Also kind of a piece of shit. Then Senator Joe Biden on then Senator Barack Obama, when Obama was first running for president, said, quote, I mean, you got the first mainstream African-American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice-looking guy. I mean,
Jesus
that's a
fucking
storybook, man.
Christ.
I'm not a fan of
Ugh.
Joe Biden.
And then he became his running mate.
The president. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Take a nap, Joe. God.
Yeah,
Sleepy
he
Joe.
really cannot run again. Please don't run again. But
Ugh.
also, I have lots of issues with Kamala. Can we
It's-
just have Elizabeth Warren?
I have a lot of
Please.
issues with Elizabeth Warren.
Shit.
There are no good options.
There are no good
There
options.
are just way worse options.
Yeah.
We all know who we're talking about. Okay. From President George W. Bush, quote, "There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, 'Fool me once, shame on you.
I love
Fool
this
me,
one.
you can't get fooled again.'"
You can't get fooled again.
Yeah,
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me. You can't fool me again.
You can't get fooled again.
that one was also pretty famous.
I miss him.
I miss that schmore criminal.
I miss that
Schmore criminal.
fucking idiot.
Okay,
God.
this is from Senate Commerce
I
Committee
don't
Chairman.
actually miss him. Nobody misses him. We're being sarcastic.
This is from Senate Commerce Committee Chairman Ted Stephen explaining the workings of the internet during a debate on net
Yes!
neutrality.
Yes.
Quote, "The internet is not something you just dump something on. It's not a truck. It's a series of tubes. And if you don't understand, those tubes can be filled. And if they're filled, when you put your message in, it gets in line and it's going to be delayed by anyone that puts into that tube enormous amounts of material. Enormous amounts of material."
I put a Ted Stevens series of tubes picture on the drive, and it's just him going into one of those Mario, like, green drainage tubes.
I don't see it yet. I'm refreshing.
Refresh. My pictures are amazing.
Thank you for doing. Yes, it is a series of tubes. Don't try to explain the internet.
This guy
If
can't
you
explain
were
the internet.
80 years old when the internet was invented.
This guy
Most
can't
of
find
our-
the clit or explain the internet.
Literally, most of our fucking senators and Congress people, they don't even use the internet. They don't even use email. That
my
is how
God.
fucking old they are and
The,
out of touch.
Christ.
The recent fucking, like, Congress, I don't know, where the guy is like, what are you gonna do to end Finsta? And the woman who's representing Instagram is like, that's just people making fake Instagram accounts. Like, I can't end Finsta. It's not like an
Finsta.
Yeah.
organization. It's a
not
term.
a terrorist group.
It's not a
It's- yeah.
committee that we have.
Antifa is all up in Finsta. How are you gonna end Finsta? These are our world leaders, you guys.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
are you gonna end Finsta?
They're just geriatric. Like, literally, if you ask them, they will tell you that they've never used email.
no.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Okay,
All right,
moving on.
So Rudy Giuliani, who
Yes!
apparently styled himself as Mr. 9/11, said
Ish.
this quote.
He
on
is a walking disaster.
in 2010, quote, "We had no domestic attacks under Bush. We've had one under Obama." He forgot 9/11.
Never. Hashtag never forget.
Never forget.
I am
There were a
definitely
few-
putting Rudy Giuliani's hair color melting down his
Oh,
face on the
God.
drive because it's my favorite picture of him.
There were a couple different quotes, not just from Giuliani, but other people who like forgot when and whether 9/11 happened.
Uh-huh.
It's like, okay, here's another Dan Quayle. "One word sums up probably the responsibility of any vice president, and that one word is to be prepared." It's a regular Boy Scout.
That's 3 words.
I know. That's the point. Okay, here's one. from-
Dan!
He could have
From-
said preparation.
Right?
Yeah.
H.
H. Donald Trump, quote, "I would never buy Ivana any decent jewels or pictures. Why give her negotiable assets?"
Well, joke's on him because she won the largest divorce settlement in history.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Trump. Also, he raped Ivana when she recommended a plastic surgeon to him for hair
his
plugs,
hair.
and the procedure hurt, and he wasn't expecting it to hurt, and so he ripped her hair out and raped her, and it is in her sworn divorce deposition. So fuck him. He is a fucking monster.
You definitely chose this topic.
If there was any guess, any confusion,
I might have to go get my blood pressure cuff.
Do you guys remember?
Put it on.
Do you guys remember Larry Craig?
Yes, there's a Larry Craig Memorial Bathroom check-in at the MSP airport online.
I don't remember this.
You can check in on Facebook at the Larry Craig Memorial.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. So when he was explaining to his arresting officer why he was playing footsie in a Minneapolis airport men's bathroom, he said, quote, "I have a wide stance."
I put him on the drive.
I don't remember this man.
Okay,
You
so
don't?
Larry Craig was not a Minnesota politician, but he was flying through MSP.
He was a senator.
He was a senator. And he was at MSP, and he was in the men's room. And allegedly
Pooping in a stall. Pooping.
yeah, he was in a stall. I don't know what he was doing in the stall, but he was in the stall. And allegedly in like cis male gay culture, in the stall, there is a foot tapping procedure to indicate your interest
You're down to clown.
in your stallmate, correct? And Larry Craig used either the same or a similar foot
Tapped
tapping
his
procedure.
foot under the
Yeah.
wall.
Yup.
His neighbor's stall, yeah.
Yep. And then this just went viral.
And that person reported it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like went to the press saying that he was soliciting sex from him in the men's room at the MSP airport. And it turned into this whole thing. Again,
Well, he was
SNL.
evidently arrested.
Yeah. It was not great. It was kind of wild. Super homophobic.
Yeah.
And fucked up. Like,
So-
I do not endorse that at all.
Kenyon.
But he was such a fucking Looney Tune about how he tried to explain it away. And it became this whole soundbite.
When
About
did
the
that
wide
happen?
stance.
Larry Craig.
Early 2000s, I
bathroom.
think. Not any time, but several times if we have been in the same bathroom, like in stalls next to each
Oh,
other,
yeah.
I'll tap my foot under.
You're
at
giving her
you.
the
That's
old
what
Larry
you're
Craig.
doing to me?
Yes.
I thought you got that joke.
She's
That's
soliciting
that's
sex
what
I
I
thought
do.
you were
You.
just being friendly. Just
And
saying
you've been
hi.
so
No, I was
rude.
soliciting
showing me
sex.
your Rothies.
You've been
was
so
soliciting
rude not to
you.
respond to her sexual advances.
I always thought it was like, yes, hi, holding
No.
hands. Here are my Rothies.
It's like, are you down?
All right. Well, missed
Whole
that
new meaning.
entirely.
Right over your head. Here's another Dan Quayle. Quote, "I love California. I practically grew up in Phoenix."
Oh. Wait. No.
That's the whole quote.
Oh my fucking God.
Okay. Here's another one from President H.W. Bush. That's the big one, the old one.
Okay.
Quote, "You cannot be president of the United States if you don't have faith. Remember Lincoln going to his knees in times of trial and the Civil War and all that stuff. You can't be. And we are blessed. So don't cry for me, Argentina. Message, I care." He's giving a speech to employees of an insurance company during the 1992 New Hampshire primary.
What? Don't cry for me,
me,
Argentina.
Message, I care. Just makes no.
That
No
is
sense.
absolute nonsense.
I know.
Rest in peace. Nonsense.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
President
And
Gerald.
like, we say stupid shit all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not
Every
elected
day.
leaders.
No, honey. No, we are not.
We can laugh at ourselves, and people's lives don't hang in the balance of the stupid shit we say.
We're not making important decisions.
No, we have a podcast.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's where you're supposed to say stupid shit.
Mhm. President Gerald Ford said, quote, "Things are more like they are now than they ever have been."
Where the lie, though? He's not.
He's not wrong.
Wow, he was our not cutest president.
He's not cute.
His head is a square.
Yeah, he's not cute.
A rectangle.
not
Not
cutest
cutest president.
Very forgettable president.
A peanut farmer was in the White House. Peanut.
Peanut.
He's not the peanut farmer.
I know.
Okay.
I know. He's the car guy.
Peanut. So gross. My sister says peanut. Peanuts.
Ew.
I know. I don't know
All
which.
bad.
I don't know which is worse.
Madeline.
Peanuts.
Peanut.
Have you never noticed she says peanut?
I've never heard her say peanut. So
We haven't spent quite as much time around your sister.
as you,
I don't know.
I'm going to request she send me a voice memo of her saying peanut.
Peanuts.
Peanut.
Okay, here's another Dan Quayle.
God.
So he's at an elementary school at a spelling bee, and he is correcting a student's correct spelling of the word potato. So he says, quote, "Add one little bit on the end. Think of potato. How's it spelled? You're right phonetically, but what else? There you go. All right."
I did know.
He had the student add an E to the end of potato, which is not how you spell potato.
like
And
the
he's being
show.
super condescending about it. He's like, and there's a one little part you're missing right on the end.
Did we break a man? I do think about the potato thing often because my godmother's last name is Greek and it ends in an OS, and I always wonder if there's an E. There's not.
Add one little bit on the end.
There you go. And
There
the
you
teacher
go.
is just like,
I'm good.
He just made this kid lose the spelling bee, probably. Okay, speaking of peanuts, this one's from Barry Goldwater. Quote, "If you don't mind smelling like peanut butter for 2 or 3 days, peanut butter is darn good shaving cream."
Ish.
oh, oh my God.
Oh my God, she's throwing up.
She's gonna vomit.
She's gonna blow.
Thanks for bearing with us. My camera died. Kenyon ran to throw up at the thought of peanut butter shaving cream.
I just really did not
we're
see that
back.
coming. That is foul.
It's disgusting.
Oh,
We're back, baby.
little hair in it. Oh, I cannot.
You're gonna make yourself puke again. We're moving
And
on.
Barry Goldwater is so gross to begin with.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look him up.
nice.
I'm gonna add his picture. I'm gonna Google Barry Goldwater peanut
More
butter.
like Harry Goldwater.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh, Barry Goldwater peanut butter is a top hit.
really?
Yup. Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, this next one is from Trump, and this is on gay marriage.
Great.
Quote, "It's like in golf. A lot of people, I don't want this to sound trivial, but a lot of people are switching to these really long putters. Very unattractive. It's weird. You see these great players with these really long putters because they can't sink 3-footers anymore. And I hate it. I'm a traditionalist. I have so many fabulous friends who happen to be gay, but I'm a traditionalist."
it is just like the putters
It's word
in golf.
salad. It's word salad. It doesn't make any
know
fucking
what?
sense.
It doesn't.
He
It
makes
does not.
no sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm. Here's another Dan Quail. I got a succession of quails coming up.
All right.
A flock of quails. Quote, What a waste it is to lose one's mind. Or not to have a mind is being very wasteful. How true that is.
And he would know.
Oh. All right, we got one from California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yes.
Quote, I think that gay marriage should be between a man and a woman.
I remember that. That one was
Okay, Arnold. Another quail. I have made good judgments in the past. I have made good judgments in the future.
Maybe he's confused because he's a time traveler and he's just always playing catch up.
He knows.
Like every day he wakes up and he has to just.
What year is it?
It's like Memento.
It's tattooed.
Dan Quail Memento. Toe. T-O-E. Dan Quail Memento.
Can someone please mock up that movie poster?
Yes, please.
He's always catching up.
Fucking please.
Poor guy.
Oh, God.
It's hard to be a quail.
Oh my God, I have
hard
so
out
many
here for a
Dan
quail.
Quails. Here's another Dan Quail. Quote, Republicans understand the importance of bondage between a mother and child.
Oh,
Oh no.
God.
Oh my God. All right. Oh, I doubled up on this one. This is from former Defense Secretary Donald fucking Rumsfeld in 2003. Quote, death has a tendency to encourage a depressing view of war.
Yeah, that's the downside of
Yeah.
war.
Bummer.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks, Donnie Rums.
Psychopath.
God.
Okay, here's another quail. Quote, I was recently on a tour of Latin America, and the only regret I have was that I didn't study Latin harder in school so I could converse with those people.
No. No. Latin?
Just sentence structure wise, this appears to be a fleshed out thought. It's just so fucking stupid.
Oh, my God.
And speaking of Latin America, this one's from Ronald Reagan. Quote, while I learned a lot, I went down to Latin America to find out from them and learn their views. You'd be surprised. They're all individual countries.
Was governor and then president.
No.
And
Actor.
I implore
Amanda's
everyone
face.
to go listen to the Ronald Reagan 2-parter episode of The Dollop
Yeah.
because you will never look at Ronald Reagan or Nancy Reagan the same way ever again.
They're real
She
fucked up.
fucked.
Mm-hmm.
They're both fucked up people.
Well, speaking of Reagan, this is another quote from Donald Trump. Quote, the line of make America great again, the phrase, that was mine. I came up with it about a year ago and I kept using it and everyone's using it. They're all loving it. I don't know. I guess I should copyright it. Maybe I have copyrighted it. But maybe you don't know this, but let's make America great again was a very famous Reagan campaign slogan.
I love that. Of
And
course, Trump just stole it from someone else.
And America First was a fucking fascist, KKK slogan from the 20s.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, history is important.
Mm-hmm.
This one's gross. This is from Senator Scott Brown pimping out his daughters in his election night victory speech in 2010. Quote, in case anyone's wondering out there, yes, they're both available. Only kidding, only kidding. Ariana definitely is not, but Ayla is.
Gross.
Oh.
I hate men. That reminds me of just all of the videos of Ted Cruz trying to hug his daughters, and they're just
and
like,
they're like, absolutely not. You're disgusting, and I'm
Yeah.
forced to be here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Scott Brown is gross. He's one of those gross guys who, you could tell he thinks he's hot.
Yeah.
I'm putting a picture of him on the drive.
He thought he was going to be the next Paul Ryan.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Ryan, it.
Who just pieced out.
Oh, yeah. Paul Rudd, or Paul Rudd. Paul Ryan has disappeared.
Yeah.
He knows better.
He was just
Well,
like,
he
no,
probably
I'm
was
only in this for...
He was probably
Cutting taxes
exposed to
for rich
direct
people.
sunlight and garlic and disappeared.
He fucking exploded.
Yeah, he melted.
God.
Okay, this next one is another one from Joe Biden. And he is Joe Biden. He's speaking to Missouri State Senator Chuck Graham, who is in a wheelchair. He said, "Stand up, Chuck. Let him see ya."
Oh, Joe.
No.
Joe.
No, Joe, no.
No, Joe, no.
Yeah. Another one from Reagan, quote, "I'm not worried about the deficit. It's big enough to take care of itself."
Okay, that one's funny.
It's like a 5-year-old child. He's fine for a few hours.
So this is from then House Majority Leader Tom DeLay speaking to the owner of Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Why the fuck is it called that? It's really hard to say.
Yeah.
Didn't we learn about this? It's like 2 people who are now divorced or something. It's both of their names.
Oh, probably.
We
I don't
talked
know.
about
It's a
this
terrible
on
name.
the podcast. I'm
I don't remember.
99% sure.
I don't
a
remember
bad
anything we
fucking
ever
name.
talk about.
I mean,
So he's speaking to the owner of Ruth's Chris Steakhouse after being told to put out his cigar because of federal government regulations banning smoking in the building. He says, quote, "I am the federal government."
ugh.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And then wasn't he like
My
thrown out
father
for
will hear about
corruption?
this. Yeah, I
So
mean,
Tom DeLay was, he was
Tom
not.
DeLay scandal.
I want some
Convicted of
chips.
money laundering and conspiracy charges related to illegal campaign finance activities, aiming at helping Republican candidates for Texas state office.
but voter fraud is rampant among Democrats, you guys.
Yeah, totally.
I am the federal government.
Don't you know who you're talking to? I am the federal government. My father will hear
My
about
father
this,
is the national deficit.
and he can take care of himself.
Add an E on the end. There you go.
Also, they're all men.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. This is from Trump about a woman. Quote, this was a tweet. "While Bette Midler is an extremely unattractive woman, I refuse to say that because I always insist on being politically correct."
That's such an, I'm not racist, but
I would never say
I would
this that I am
never say
currently
this.
tweeting.
that I'm typing.
Tweeting.
And
That
it's in the record
That
now.
I'm
Typing it out.
and then you have to hit publish.
Yep. And now it is
And
published
not
to the
delete
series
it.
of tubes, and it can never go anywhere.
So much material in those tubes.
Ugh.
So this was from the FEMA director, Michael Brown, in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina in September of 2005. Quote, "Considering the dire circumstances that we have in New Orleans, virtually a city that has been destroyed, things are going relatively well."
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's totally like we just talked about the fucking guy who was like, if you just don't factor in black mothers in the,
Maternal mortality rate.
mortality rate, we're
doing great.
We're crushing it.
Similarly, Marion Barry, I don't know if that's a man or a woman.
It's a man.
Okay. Former mayor of Washington, D.C. says, quote, "Outside of the killings, Washington has one of the lowest crime rates in the country."
Also, I think went to jail for some kind of fraud. Let's see. He had lots of scandals.
There were a lot of Marion Barry quotes. Oh, I've got another one right here. "What right does Congress have to go around making laws just because they deem it necessary?"
Marion Barry was videotaped during a sting operation smoking crack cocaine and was arrested by the FBI on drug charges.
You know what? Good for him.
And then I I could be wrong, but I think that he was kicked out of being DC mayor and then came back and won
Hell
again.
yeah.
But I
Hell
could be
yeah.
wrong.
My God.
Redemption round, baby. Let's go.
What was the There was like a Canadian guy who was caught really smoking
yeah.
crack.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
remember
he
that?
had a few. He had like a few scandals within like a 6-month period, and then finally disappeared.
Yeah.
We have too much going on here for me to really follow what's going on.
This was
in
a while
Canada.
ago. It was
It was
before,
a big deal. He was like kind of bigger and like had a really
like a big white guy.
Chris
That-
Christie.
bad personality. He was like Canadian Chris Christie.
Amazing.
And there was
Okay.
video footage of him just in
Yeah.
like a car.
Isn't it our friend Tara who lives in
Toronto
Canada?
Mayor Rob Ford.
Okay.
Yes.
We can check in with Tara.
Really blustery.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Tara, tell
Yeah,
us
he
what you
drove
know.
drunk. Oh, he died of cancer. Sorry, but still,
Yeah,
you were
whatever.
troubled. Okay.
Okay. This is, okay, so I forgot how to pronounce his name. Illinois Governor Rod
Blagojevich.
Blagojevich, that's what it was. So he was recorded saying the following in a federal wiretap trying to sell Barack Obama's Senate seat. The day before his arrest, he invited authorities to tape his conversations saying, quote, "There is nothing but sunshine hanging over me."
Oh, okay.
And this is what they caught on the tapes that he gave them full permission to record to prove that he wasn't trying to sell Obama's Senate seat. Quote,
I'm selling Obama's Senate seat. Just
practically, quote,
Yeah. How much will you pay for Obama's Senate seat?
I'm
It's
just
for sale.
Quote, I'm
It's-
just not giving it up for fucking nothing. I'm not going to do it. And I can always use it. I can parachute me there. Give this motherfucker Obama his senator. Fuck him for nothing. Fuck him.
All
Okay,
right.
yep.
It's like, I'm not just going to let a free and fair election happen.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Not for
I think-
nothing.
well, the governor gets to appoint the
Right,
replacement for
appoint.
the rest of the term, but he
Oh,
was.
well, still.
Only in that specific situation with the president. Yeah, the
but
presidency win.
he's supposed to like choose someone that they think would be good at being the
Representing the state.
the people of the
Yeah.
state of Illinois and
Right.
not
Not selling it to the highest fucking bidder who's going to pad their pot. Yeah, 100%.
Oh my
100%.
And he told the FBI that they could come in and
I got nothing but sunshine.
I got
Fuck
nothing to
that shit.
hide.
I'm not giving it away
It
for
was a
fucking
perfect phone call.
nothing. It was a perfect phone call. No notes.
All I was doing was trying to strong arm the leader of a country who will very quickly be invaded by one of our worst enemies.
You
What's
guys,
the big deal?
It's fine.
I just wanted dirt on my political opponents. And I
It's-
was going to leave the sovereignty of a foreign country hanging in the balance.
What? Like this is new? Ugh.
That's fucking stupid. Okay. Here's another one from Donald Trump. Quote, "The concept of shaking hands is absolutely terrible. And statistically, I've been proven right."
He is a germaphobe.
Yeah, but like, statistically, the concept of shaking hands
He's a
is
germaphobe.
terrible. I know.
You'd
But
think
it
a
just makes no
germaphobe
fucking
would have
sense.
handled the COVID crisis
Yep.
better
Mm-hmm.
Well,
with more caution.
He doesn't care if anyone else gets sick.
Right. He just cares about himself.
Yeah.
yeah.
God, remember
He
that one
absolutely was
beautiful
vaccinated
moment?
and boosted.
Oh, yeah. Remember that one beautiful moment when Trump got COVID?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
and he
nice.
could like barely walk up the steps, and we all had
Ugh.
so much hope.
It was so
That was the last
awesome.
time I experienced hope.
Yep. I cling to that
I
moment.
don't know. The January 6th hearings are giving it to me these days.
That's true. They're helping.
All right. Just got a couple more for us. This is from Admiral James Stockdale, who was Ross Perot's running mate in the 1992 vice presidential debate.
Oh, God.
Kind of a big deal. Quote, "Who am I? Why am I here?"
Oh, wait.
are you?
It's me, Stockdale. He always comes to these debates, same dippy little look on his face. Who am I? Who am I?
Why am I here?
You're running for vice president.
Oh my God.
Okay.
God, yes.
So this is Bill Clinton on Juanita, who was a newly discovered Incan mummy on display at the National Geographic Museum. Quote,
No.
quote, if
No.
I were a single man,
No.
I might ask that mummy out. That's a good-looking mummy.
Bill.
What a fucking horn dog.
Bill Clinton
sexual
was
assailant.
so fucking gross.
So fucking gross.
He
Bill
could
Clinton
not.
was so fucking gross. Hold on.
Keep
Bill
it in his
Clinton
fucking pants.
mummy
Oh my
quote.
God. All right, this is my last
He was
one.
attracted to a mummy.
A mummy.
He's
An ancient Incan mummy.
Dead body.
Juanita. Here's the last one, and I like it because of its succinctness and who said it, who was President Richard Nixon. Quote, I would have made a good pope.
He's just
Wait, what?
such a narcissist.
Anyway, so
Imagine him shaving with peanut butter
yeah,
5 times a day.
Oh my God.
he'd have to really get in those jowls.
Oh my God. Well, there you go. That's politics, folks.
That is my segment. There were plenty to choose from. I hope this, well, I don't know what this might have done to you.
If you are a woman or a trans person or a member of the queer community or a person of color,
Any marginalized population.
and you don't have a podcast with years of examples of you saying fucked up shit that could tank your election right away, please consider running for office and saving
ahead.
us. Run for school board, run for just please
Anything.
Please save us, because the white men are out here running.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just do it. They don't need anybody to ask them to do it. They just think they can do it and do it.
Ugh.
I think all of my quotes were from white men.
Except for Marion Barry, I think so.
Mm.
Woof.
Yeah. So, I wanted to prove that there are fucked up, stupid men on both sides of the aisle.
Absolutely.
So, I have found someone who is basically Trump, but on the left.
Great. I love it.
Not quite as fucking dumb,
Right.
but
It's still
just
bad.
but corrupt and narcissistic and authoritarian.
Mm-hmm.
But on the left. Okay. So, Huey Pierce Long
Lewis
Jr.
and the news. Sorry.
So Huey Long, if you've
Yeah.
heard of him,
Got it.
was born on August 30th, 1893 in a small town in central Louisiana
Oh my
called
God.
Winfield.
He was born
Oh my God.
1893. That's like less than 30 years before Helen. It's like 20 something years before Helen. Hold
Your
on,
unit of measurement.
I'm doing math. 1917 minus 1893 is 24 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
She old.
Good.
So the region that Long grew up in was poor and had recently been notable for being a strongly Union area of an otherwise Confederate state, fucking Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Although Long would later claim that he had been raised in poverty in a log cabin, he actually grew up in a farmhouse and his family was relatively well off compared to all of their neighbors.
Oh my God.
But he had to embellish a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta meet folks where they're at.
Yeah.
Down in the dirt.
So Lil Huey was homeschooled until age 11, which
Lil
explains
Huey.
everything.
Oh, never homeschooling. No, I'm sorry. Hot take. Absolutely not. Never met a normal homeschool person.
I have not either.
Mm-mm.
After which he entered the public school system where he excelled academically but was expelled after just a few years for distributing flyers critical of his teachers and various school policies.
I mean, you would get expelled for that.
Yeah, you really
That's got Kenyan written all over it.
Yeah.
Down to the flyer making.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
collaging skills really would have come into play here.
Love me a good flyer.
You do. Mm-hmm.
After his expulsion, he worked as a traveling salesman. He was like
Yes.
13.
Goat balls. Goat balls.
He's giving me real Schmeil Schmeen vibes.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. He's totally Schmeil Schmeen.
Yeah.
Hi, Schmeil.
Hi, Schmeil. Schmeil.
Schmal. So he worked as a traveling salesman. I'm just picturing him so little doing that.
I'm only
Little
picturing
hat.
13-year-old Schmeil Schmeen going,
Yep.
like, selling vacuums door to door in
Yeah.
Excelsior.
Between several brief stints attending 3 different colleges. So the fact that he was like kicked out of grade school like didn't matter, and you could just like go to college at 16.
It was the
and-
1800s.
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't care. Early 1900s now.
Right.
He began dating a woman named Rose McConnell, and after a couple of years, the two married. However, their wedding was a bit of an awkward affair, as Long had no cash on him to pay the officiant and had to ask to borrow $10 from his bride at the altar.
$10 is a steal. I am much more expensive than that.
Well, it was 100 years ago.
Right. My prices are competitive. They're fair.
So,
My prices are fair.
Phil,
I don't know why I do.
Louisiana.
Oh,
You
right.
are possessed.
I'm constantly possessed by spirits.
You love that chicken from Popeyes.
I do love that chicken from Popeyes. I fucking love it. It's so good.
So Long decided to spend a semester studying law, but of the 4 classes he took, he received 3 C's and 1 incomplete.
Same. Literally, where did you get my transcript? Because, hi.
Nonetheless, he managed to pass the bar at age 21
Jeez.
because you could just take the bar. You didn't have to actually graduate law school.
No, you
Yeah.
just have to walk past a bar, and
Yeah.
that's passing the bar in the 1800s.
With the right wig.
Early 1900s. Right.
With the right wig.
He then set up a private practice where he represented poor plaintiffs and was eventually elected to the Louisiana Public Service Commission.
Mm-hmm.
This meant working on much more high-profile cases, such as prosecuting large corporations like Standard Oil. A case in which he prosecuted the Cumberland Telephone and Telegraph Company for unfair rate increases went all the way to the Supreme Court, and William Howard Taft called him, quote, the most brilliant lawyer who ever practiced before the United States Supreme Court. And he was in his, like,
Taft.
early 20s.
Okay, Taft. The guy didn't even... Okay, yeah, no.
Yep. He was a good talker.
Mm-hmm.
Long began to make a name for himself as a progressive anti-corporate Democrat. But again, remember, this is the 1920s in Louisiana. So he's like a Southern Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
But his personal finances told a slightly different story. He had money invested in multiple independent oil companies, and his cases against Standard Oil were often on behalf of the companies that he stood to personally benefit from.
Oh, weird.
So he was like taking down big oil.
As the personal lawyer for less big oil.
Yes. Literally,
For
yes.
slightly
Medium
less
oil.
big oil. Medium oil.
Yes. 1,000%.
What a fucking Looney Tune. But, like, in that day and age, you could get away with shit like that
You can
way
get away with
longer.
that shit now.
Yeah, I know,
Nobody
I know.
gives a shit. There are
It's
like
now
no
it's
laws.
more apathy. Then I feel like, well, it was apathy, and also like we didn't have access to immediate information the way we do now. Now the apathy is so much more because we're inundated with immediate information
all of
the
the
time.
information, and that nobody can like mount a outrage campaign longer than like 72 hours.
It's just we're all fucking the
72
worst.
hours would be a pretty good run, honestly.
Yeah. So in 1928, when he was like around 35 years old, Huey Long was elected governor of Louisiana after campaigning on a promise to address the state's persistent inequality. His campaign slogan was, quote, "Every man a king."
I mean, it's catchy.
Every man.
Well, one aspect of Long's legacy that has been debated is the extent to which his politics were racially progressive. Like, for the time. Again, it's the fucking 1920s.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, many people believed that they were, as his proposed social program stood to benefit Louisiana's black citizens as well as the white citizens. His opponents used this against him, publishing political cartoons of Long with, gasp, his arms around black people.
Oh, how dare
That
you.
was the entire cartoon.
The smear campaign.
Yeah.
Jesus.
God damn.
However, Long's policies did nothing to address segregation, and he declined to support an anti-lynching law.
Yeah, too polarizing.
Yeah.
God.
Fuck.
So I think this person sums it up best. The civil rights activist Roy Wilkins would later state, quote, "My guess is that Huey wouldn't hesitate to throw Negroes to the wolves if it became necessary. Neither would he hesitate to carry them along if the good they did him was greater than the harm."
That is so spot on, and like still how, I mean, Joe Biden did
Joe
the same
Biden.
shit.
Yeah.
Same shit. Like we
Joe
will catch a win, quote unquote, on the backs of black and brown people and then leave them completely in the fucking dust.
Yep.
That's just how it fucking works.
Uh-huh.
That's white supremacy for you. It's great.
Everyone's fine. This is a great lighthearted episode.
I'm fucking fine.
Lighthearted. Drink that
Also,
2 p.m. red wine, baby.
I'm getting a little drunk and I'm okay.
As governor, Long did fulfill many of his promises, greatly expanding social programs and instituting large public works projects. But he did so through bullying and corruption.
Oh, my favorite. My favorite.
And despite being a lawyer, complete disregard for the illegality of all of his actions.
Well, he was only a lawyer by walking past the bar.
Yeah. That's what
barely a
lawyers
lawyer.
do.
Mm-hmm.
Law who? Like he just...
Law. New law. Who dis?
Yeah, he just did whatever...
Should that be my voicemail?
whatever the fuck he wanted. So one particularly egregious example of this involved Long deploying the National Guard to raid New Orleans' immoral gambling dens and brothels.
Leave my dens alone.
He didn't have any legislative authority to do this.
Or
It
really
was-
any reason to do it.
it
It's just a
just-
political stunt?
It just was what he personally wanted done.
Huh.
So Governor Long reportedly ordered the National Guard members to, quote, shoot without hesitation
Oh my God.
People in a gambling den?
and a brothel
Oh my
Ugh.
that he did not have warrants to raid.
Cool.
And these raids resulted in the arrest of numerous sex workers and the burning of gambling equipment, as well as the seizure of over $25,000 that he probably pocketed.
Mm-hmm.
This, despite the fact that New Orleans city authorities had not requested military assistance and martial law had not been declared. It was just a personal whim of the governors.
It's just state-sanctioned violence. Like, this shit is woven into the tapestry of America, baby.
It's like when Trump called
Yep.
in the National Guard to like do
to
his
go to
photo op.
Portland. Yep. In DC so that he could clear the church of protesters
Yeah.
to hold up a Bible upside down.
Because he sold his soul to the devil.
And get a hideous fucking picture of his hideous macabre visage. I can't.
Long would later sign a bill that allowed all police in Louisiana to make arrests without a warrant.
Oh, good. I mean, if like this sounds really fucking far long ago, but the Supreme Court just supported not like police don't have to legally read you your Miranda rights anymore. That's no longer a requirement.
And border control authorities no longer need a warrant within like 100 miles of the border. Which
Yep.
is like
What?
every major city in America.
Yep.
Oh my God.
So, like, this is all fucking still happening now. Keep yourselves abreast.
Yeah, this is the beginning of fascism. It's fine. Not even beginning. Like,
I mean, we're just
end
on
of stage one.
Right.
We're well on our way.
Stage one's just been real long. Yeah.
In 1929, Long arranged for the governor's mansion to be razed to the ground within 48 hours by convicts from the state penitentiary. So he did this, basically, he didn't like the governor's mansion. And he kind of, under the table asked for funds to replace it and build a new governor's mansion. And the legislature was like, no.
Because he just didn't like the building.
He didn't like the building. And the legislature said no. And so he got a team of convicts from the state pen to raise the mansion to the ground. And then he went back to the legislature and was like, well, I have nowhere to live. So
You got to build me one.
you got to
So
build
he
me one.
exploited slave labor.
To go expressly against the wishes of the state lawmakers to take funds
himself
from
a
the
new
government
house.
to build himself a new house.
Was he
Okay.
trying to frame this as like arson?
No. It was just like, well, I fucking did it now, so
What are you going to do? I'm governor. Eat my
I'm
butt.
governor. I got to live somewhere.
Okay.
So to replace it, he had a much larger Georgian mansion built. It bore an uncanny resemblance to the White House.
Wow. Subtle.
Something that Long did not deny. There's a photo on the drive.
I love the heavy-handedness.
And he reportedly said about the resemblance, quote, I wanted to be familiar with the residents when I become president.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
When? What a fucking... That's a lot of cocky for a man with that face. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God. Why is his Kool-Aid mouth is really...
It's really prominent. He looks like a cartoon in a Mad Magazine comic.
Yeah, he does.
Personified.
Yeah.
I also just want to point out that Ronald Reagan did something very similar to the California governor's mansion.
I believe that 100%.
Not
so-
surprising.
Oh, I forgot I still had Bill Clinton mummy in my Google searches. Figure that out.
So the replacement of the governor's mansion was unpopular, but Long had gained a reputation for punishing political opponents, firing people at every level of government who did not support him, and even often firing their family members in retaliation,
Wow, nobody's safe.
creating a state government apparatus of people that were either entirely supportive of him or too afraid to say that they weren't. Also, this happens in 1929, so the Great Depression hasn't quite happened yet. Like that happened, I think, in October 29. But then they're basically spending all of this money to build a mansion at the start of the Great Depression.
And Helen had just turned 12.
Oh my God. And my grandfather was born.
Oh. There's such a thing as too old.
Yeah.
Oh, she would if she were alive today, she would completely agree that she was way too fucking old.
So in 1929, Long was impeached, but ultimately not convicted. The impeachment charges were
Kind of like Trump.
numerous.
Yeah.
So these were the impeachment charges. See if you can keep track.
Oh my God.
Attempted bribery of state legislators, demanding and receiving undated letters of resignation from appointees.
This is like a TikTok finger down challenge.
So
Put
he
a finger down if. Okay.
Yeah,
I've
he
got two.
basically, he made everybody pre-hand in a letter of resignation so that they could just be terminated at any moment.
Oh.
Makes sense.
So it was just like,
It's like a prenup. Just make it
Yeah.
easy.
Oh my God.
intimidating publisher Charles P. Manship by threatening to disclose his brother's poor mental condition.
Oh, okay. Exploiting mental health. Got
Yep.
it.
Misappropriating portions of a $6,000 fund allocated for receiving other governors. So,
Okay.
parties to host other governors. Forcing a state board to dismiss its secretary to open up a position for a political ally. and then paying the incumbent secretary $5,400 in hush money.
Okay. I started to get in the weeds with numbers, but I get it now.
Ignore that the numbers don't actually matter.
Okay. Bribery, hush money, got it.
Yeah. Illegally paying his cousin $728.25 from the governor's office expense fund.
Okay.
Using a certain amount of money from the office expense fund to purchase personal law books, like for his
Okay.
personal library,
Okay.
which he needed to brush up on, obviously. I'd forgive
We're at
that.
7. We're at 7 bads.
Forcing the Highway Commission to accede to a contractor's demand for $4,000 in payment for their installation of defective curbs.
That's fucking mob level shit. I love it.
Yeah, just like
Jesus.
paying for like bad infrastructure work.
Yeah.
And my favorite charge for impeachment, incompetency.
Just in general. Just general incompetency.
I
All
like
right.
that that's the last one, too. Just like, you know what? And another thing.
And another thing.
You're a
We're going to
fucking
slap
idiot.
this on.
His, his impeachment trial was a chaotic affair that became known as Bloody Monday. Legislators threw inkwells at each other, like
Oh
in
my
the building.
God.
God, politics has always been such like a bullshit circus of absolute insanity.
Yeah, this sounds like some English Parliament shit.
Yeah.
Attacked each other with brass knuckles.
Oh,
for
my
God's
God.
sakes. But women can't lead.
And
Women are
Long's,
emotional.
Long's brother Earl, who was also a character,
Goodbye, Earl.
bit someone on the neck.
What?
Oh,
Sir.
It was a brawl.
freaks. Oh my God.
They just make America great again.
Following the failed impeachment attempt, Long treated his opponents even more ruthlessly than he had before. Because
Okay.
he's pissed.
Yep. Hell hath no fury like a long
This guy.
scorned.
Like, yeah. He stated in an interview, quote, "I used to try to get things done by saying please. Now I dynamite them out of my path."
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, old-timey prospector from the Toy Story movie.
Yeah, really.
Congratulations.
Dynamite 'em.
Dynamite 'em.
In 1930, Long was elected to the U.S. Senate, beating out the incumbent Joseph E. Ransdell. Long had campaigned against Ransdell largely by criticizing his age, referring to him repeatedly as old feather duster.
That's kind of funny.
Okay.
That's
that
Joe
I
Biden.
love. Yeah, Joe Biden. Old feather duster.
Old feather duster.
Oh my God.
Gonna need some ointment for that sick burn.
Yeah, such a sick burn.
The New York Times called the campaign as amusing as it was depressing. Which we need stitched on an embroidery thing,
Yeah.
along with Guantanamo Bay.
Yes. What I like to say about if there are people in my life who I have like maybe a challenging friendship or familial connection with, I will say I love them as much as I hate them, and I love them a lot.
Oh no.
As challenging as it was depressing.
Oh my God. Okay.
God, that's good.
As amusing as it was
Or
depressing.
as amusing as
our
it was depressing.
show.
Yeah.
This episode.
Oh.
There were
God.
accusations of voter fraud against him. Voting records showed some unlikely names turning out to vote in Louisiana's Senate race.
Oh, are they all dead people?
Charlie Chaplin, Jack Dempsey, and Babe Ruth, none of whom held residency in Louisiana.
At least get other names.
Make up a name.
Famous people.
Make up a name.
Babe Ruth.
Oh my God.
So, okay.
Classic feather duster.
So remember, he ran for governor, I think, in 1928. He's impeached in 1929, but not convicted. In
Immediately
1930, In 1930, he runs for Senate.
Yes.
my
But he's
God.
already governor. He's only been governor for 2 years. So
no,
why did he
Daddy
run
wants
for Senate?
more. Daddy
No.
wants more.
No. Although he was elected in 1930, Long did not actually assume his Senate seat until 1932, opting to finish out his term as Louisiana governor first. He
That's
left.
not how that works.
Well,
Apparently
it
it
is for Huey.
was then. Well, he was taking advantage of a pre-sale code.
He declared that leaving the Senate seat vacant for 2 years, which he did, nobody sat in that fucking Senate seat, wouldn't make much of a difference because with, quote, Ransdale as senator, the seat was vacant anyway.
I mean, sick burn, but
He
also,
just did it.
come on.
He just did it because he didn't like Ransdell.
Right.
Oh
It
my
was the
God.
Just
spite
did
run.
it. Yeah, to spite
Yeah.
him, to kick him out.
Oh my God, what a prick.
Can you fucking imagine?
Ugh.
I can't imagine because
I mean-
grosser things have happened in the last 6 months.
A fucking, like, Trump was a spite run.
Yeah.
That man did not want to be president.
No,
No.
it was because of the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Despite his corruption, Long was hugely popular in Louisiana for the social programs he enacted and like his personality. The
He
night,
was always a good time, let me tell you.
the night schools he established were estimated to have taught 100,000 adults to read, and his policy of providing free textbooks to schools was credited with a 20% increase in enrollment.
Okay, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
He had some good
He found
social
a nut.
polities. He was economically pretty progressive, but not
Just a
legal.
shitty person.
Still a prick.
Yeah. During his 4 years as governor, paved highways in Louisiana increased from 331 to over 2,300 miles of paved roads,
Okay.
and 111
Not well
bridges
paved,
were
real
built.
shitty curbs, but
Real shitty curbs. That's
we'll
true.
take it.
However, he had accomplished these feats by entirely ignoring legislative processes, often shouting, "Shut up" or "Sit down" when legislators voiced any concerns.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what? I'm going to start doing that.
Shut
Shut
up!
up! Sit down!
Sit down!
You don't know.
God.
Once in the Senate, he became known as a staunch isolationist and an outspoken critic of FDR, whom he had previously supported. Long became a national figure during the Great Depression because of his criticism of the New Deal, but not for reasons you might think. He thought the New Deal was insufficiently radical. Like, he wanted the New Deal to be more expansive, more generous, build more shit, employ more people, which, like, that's great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He argued against one portion of the New Deal in a 15-hour and 30-minute filibuster,
We gotta
Ew.
get rid of that fucking thing.
only the
God.
second longest at the time. Long failed to break the existing record after he, quote, yielded to a call of nature.
Yeah, you had to take a shit.
Yeah. I don't mind the talking filibuster.
Ugh.
It's the current filibuster.
The vague threat of a filibuster, which means you can never vote. It's like, make them actually filibuster. Eventually they'll run out of time,
Mm-hmm.
and then you vote.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't
But
get
that's
the
not how we
problem.
honor it, so we gotta fucking trash it. It's crap.
Yeah. In 1933, Long introduced his own alternative to the New Deal called the Share Our Wealth Plan. His plan included capping personal fortunes at $100 million,
Okay.
limiting annual income to $1 million, and individual inheritances to $5 million, as well as proposals for free college, veterans benefits, public works projects, a guaranteed basic monthly income, and
Wow.
a 30-hour work week.
Okay.
Right?
You know what? I can get behind all of this.
Yeah.
Right? Still, it's 100 years ago, and we
Mhm.
are still fighting over this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Long's proposals were widely criticized as impossible, but it's likely that they did push FDR slightly to the left on the second New Deal, so that's good. FDR feared Huey Long and wanted to undercut his popular support and incorporated some of his ideas into his own policies in order to do that. So FDR's fear was warranted as Long planned to use his share of the wealth plan to mount a campaign against him for the 1936 presidential election.
Mm.
In 1935, Long wrote a book called a fictional book
Oh.
called My First Days in the White House, which gave a fictional account of what his first 100 days as president would
This
be.
is what I would do. I'm going to write my own. My first days in the White House, the Amanda
kind
Jacobson
if I
story.
did
it.
If I got elected, here's
It's
what
kind
I
of
would
brilliant.
do. Yeah,
The
it's
O.J.
a campaign.
Simpson book.
Yeah.
It's a campaign move.
Yeah. As he continued to maintain control of Louisiana while he was a senator, with his successor as governor essentially being just a puppet who enacted whatever he said. According to one source, Long's regime in Louisiana was, quote, the closest thing to a dictatorship that America has ever known.
Oh.
At that point.
Long himself stated in an interview, quote, I'm Mussolini and Hitler rolled into one.
No.
Mussolini force-fed dissidents castor oil. I'll give them Tabasco, and then they'll like Louisiana.
Oh my God. Not a great talking point.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Hashtag assess your idols, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. On September 8th, 1935, Long traveled to the Louisiana state capitol to pass a bill that would gerrymander the district of one of his enemies, Judge Benjamin Pavey, who had held his seat for 28 years. At the Capitol, Pavey's son-in-law, Carl Weiss, approached Long and fired a single shot with a handgun, hitting Long in the torso.
Oh, fuck.
Long's bodyguards, who he had referred to as his Cossacks or skull crushers,
Oh God.
not a friend of the Jews,
No.
responded by firing Weiss with all their pistols, killing him. So they killed the shooter. An autopsy would later find that Weiss had been shot at least 60 times.
Like
Long-
that unarmed man a couple weeks ago.
Right. Well, I mean, he did shoot.
Right.
the senator.
Unlike this unarmed
Right.
man pulled
Yeah.
over for like a traffic violation.
Right.
Right. The 60 times.
Right.
Little overkill. Little unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Long was rushed to the hospital, but surgery failed to stop the internal bleeding, and he died 31 hours later. He was buried in Baton Rouge.
Dang.
And so FDR won the 1936 election by a landslide because he didn't have this competition to his left. One contemporary source stated that Roosevelt regarded Long's assassination as a, quote, providential occurrence.
Mhm.
But the political machine Long built continued to dominate Louisiana's government for decades. After his death, his brother Earl was elected lieutenant governor in
And
1936.
I forgot about Earl.
And then governor in 1948 and 1956. Doesn't matter
Right.
that he bit a lawmaker on the neck
the
in
neck.
a brawl over his
Jeez.
brother's impeachment.
He fucking Edward Cullen'd that motherfucker.
God.
Long's widow, Rose, replaced him in the Senate and served out the remainder of his term, but she didn't run again after it was up. She was just one of the first, widow takeovers in the Senate.
New band name, I call it Widow Takeover.
Yeah. And his son, Russell, became a senator later. And according to historian Mark Brewer, quote, we don't know where Long would have ended up. Certainly the assassin's bullet stopped him short of where he wanted to go.
The assassin's bullet.
Yeah. So that's
Wow.
Huey Long. There was so
Holy
much more
shit.
we could not get to.
Huey Long. Mussolini and Hitler wrapped into one.
What a fucking cunt.
He just was so into himself. So there
Yeah.
are
The narcissism in politics.
authoritarians on both ends of the spectrum.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Absolutely. No one's safe. Trust no one.
Mm-mm.
Hashtag fucking X-Files.
Nice work. Oh, I want to watch X-Files.
Okay, so you'll want to check out my photos on the drive/blog so that this opening really lands with you.
Okay.
Okay. So on today's episode of Where is My Chin? And Oops, All Forehead.
Yeah. His
Yeah.
face is like scooted down.
The chin really gets
It's
me.
like when like your printer fucks up.
Yep.
And
It's
And
like
cuts a part
staggered.
off. Yeah. Skips a step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fades
The
as it
paper
keeps
gets
going.
fed in late.
Yeah, he
Yep.
needs to replace cerulean ASAP.
Oh
Something's not working right. I'm going to be talking about this utter worm, Gordon James Klingenschmidt of Colorado.
Jesus.
Yeah. Born in Buffalo, New York in 1968, he was adopted as a baby and raised in a devout Roman Catholic household. He attended the U.S. Air Force Academy for college and got a poli-sci degree before going on to pursue a Master's of Divinity, which I officially want, as well as his MBA in philosophy and a doctorate from Regent University and online Christian college.
Nothing says Christian college like an online
Yeah.
Christian college.
I had to dig into the legitimacy of this school. So, yes, it is an accredited online college, and it ranks number 2036 out of 2036 out of 2,576 schools in the nation for overall quality on College Factual's 2022 Best Colleges list.
All right. Well, bottom 5%.
Starting from the bottom, now we're here. And I am enrolling immediately for my master's in divinity. Stay tuned.
There are a lot of smart people who get a master's in divinity.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
He is not one of them.
No.
So, yeah. This human mole rat strayed from his Roman Catholic roots while attending the Air Force Academy when he stumbled upon a Pentecostal Bible study. Never a good thing.
Pentecostal is one of the scariest words in the English language.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was immediately taken with their interpretations of the Bible and said that he was born again on December 13th, 1986, and had, quote, invited Jesus Christ to rule my heart in ways he had never previously done.
It's a cult.
It's a call your dad, you're in a cult, hashtag MFM.
Yeah.
So after his service ended in September of 2002, he continued with the U.S. Navy as a military chaplain, evangelizing to the troops. From Wikipedia, quote, during his time as a Navy chaplain, Klingenschmidt was a vocal critic of the Navy's policies on prayer in ceremonial settings, engaging in a long-running battle with the military over regulations requiring chaplains to deliver inclusive prayers at military events other than religious services. So basically, the military
The
employs
prayers, the forced public prayers in the military were
needed to be
too
inclusive.
inclusive. No,
Yep.
they were too inclusive.
That's-
He
yeah,
wanted
that's
them
his-
less inclusive.
Correct. That's what he was pissed off about. He did not want to include
Right.
all the folks that serve in the military.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we are 2 weeks away from nominating this guy to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, maybe he'll be back. So Klingenschmidt accused his superiors of pressuring chaplains to offer generic, non-sectarian prayers, and as a result gained wide attention and sympathy among religious conservatives.
Pray however you want in private.
Yep.
There
No.
shouldn't be any fucking prayers.
Well,
Ah!
yeah. But this was just not enough of a reach. He had to spread the word of God much further. He was even court-martialed in 2006 for attending a protest outside of the White House in his uniform.
Oh, yeah, that's a no-no.
Yep. While I cannot get the exact details of who organized the protest, it's referred to as a right-wing rally and, quote, organized by groups protesting the Defense Department chaplaincy rules requiring non-sectarian prayers at public events. So we can all just fill in those
So
blanks.
exactly what he was upset about before.
Yep. From rightwingwatch.org, quote, Klingenschmidt, who goes by Dr. Chaps, because he's a
Not
chaplain.
ironically.
A chaplain with his doctorate. It's like that was his quippy, cool nickname.
Dr. Chap.
Does he
Dr.
know
Chaps.
what chaps are?
I'm assuming no.
Oh my. That's
Yeah.
a good, I don't even, drag king name.
It's all
Dr. Chaps.
Honestly, it's all flawless no notes so far. So Dr. Chaps has based his political activism on his own personal story of persecution, claiming that the military censored and fired him because he said the name of Jesus in his prayers as a chaplain. He filed a lawsuit to protect his First Amendment rights and has used his story to win persecution points from the religious right and raise lots of money for his group, the Pray in Jesus' Name Project.
Oh, Jesus.
But as Rob Boston of Americans United for Separation of Church and State reports, Klingenschmidt lost his lawsuit because the incident never happened. As we've known for several years, Klingenschmidt was not dismissed for using the name of Jesus in prayer, but for wearing military garb at a political event in violation of military regulations, among other reasons that had nothing to do with the fact that he delivered Christian prayers.
Oh,
You
my
can
God.
still attend political events. You just
do
can't
it in
wear
plain
your
clothes.
uniform. Yeah.
It's not hard.
Oh, man.
Sorry, needed to wet my whistle.
Did ya?
I did. In the spring of 2006, Klingenschmidt appeared at a right-wing rally in Washington, D.C. He was wearing his uniform at the time. Had he attended the event in civilian garb, there would have been no problem.
Yeah.
But Klingenschmidt used his uniform, or use of his uniform, was a clear violation of military regulations. Klingenschmidt's appearance at the rally was the final straw for Navy officials. He had been causing trouble for a long time and was not considered an effective chaplain.
Yeah, because it's all about him.
Yup.
It's all about his little personal campaign and vendetta, not actually like ministering to young
masses.
people who are
Right.
probably scared in a time of fucking combat.
Yep. He, a 2004 poll of service personnel on the USS Anzino, where Klingenschmidt had then served, reaped numerous negative comments. Among them, quote, worst chap I've seen in 17 years. Quote, would
Not
never.
even made out of leather.
Nope, awful. Not even assless. Quote, would never seek counsel from chaps. And, quote, he is one of the worst chaps I've ever seen.
All right.
So, hard takes. Navy officials decided to ease Klingenschmidt out of the service after the Evangelical Episcopal Church, pulled its endorsement of Klingenschmidt. So you gotta be like, I have the hiccups.
Yeah, you're doing
I'm the
great.
mouse who fell in the well. Here we go.
Who fell in the well of red wine.
I did it. Doing great. Doing great. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh, you bitch. Don't make me laugh. Navy officials decertified him as a chaplain and he was separated from the U.S. Navy. Unhappy about this, Klingenschmidt filed a number of administrative challenges and lawsuits, but they have not been successful.
But they still gave him like a soft landing
Yep.
because
Yeah.
he's a white man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Gardy really didn't like all the mean things that Right Wing Watch had said about him and immediately went after their platform, specifically their YouTube account. Now a Colorado resident, a state where they legalized pot and the progressives are just running wild and abandoning Jesus.
Pat.
Oh, God. Garden decided to run for the Colorado House of Representatives to infuse the state with some of that much-needed church. And Right Wing Watch was mocking him throughout his campaign, using literally just the dumb shit he said against him. So from Tech
Not
Dirt,
fair.
not fair. Don't do that.
Don't use my words against me.
That
Fully
isn't
in
right.
context.
Yeah. So from techdirt.com, my new favorite source, over the last few months, they've been posting a few of Klingenschmidt's, who goes by Dr. Chaps, wackier statements, including video clips of him making those statements. This is pretty clear fair use, but Klingenschmidt started using the YouTube's copyright claim system to take down the videos. In part, he argues that the videos are infringing. Actually, he uses, quote, plagiarism, which is different than copyright infringing, and the videos are actually neither. But he also focuses on the YouTube comments on those videos. Klingenschmidt claimed that the YouTube comments amounted to death threats from Right Wing Watch's followers, though they're pretty standard crazy YouTube comments, not serious death threats. Also, since the comments are not made by Right Wing Watch, but viewers on YouTube, Right Wing Watch is not liable for them.
Right.
Oh my God.
Oh, bless you.
Thanks.
I'll give you
Bless
the
you in
chaps.
Jesus' name.
Yeah, in Jesus' name from Dr. Chaps.
I'm receiving it.
You are receiving
feel
Jesus.
light.
I feel it
I feel really relieved in my nasal cavities.
in Jesus' name.
Oh, no, that's just eucalyptus.
Oh,
God is good.
oh, God is good.
Vapor rub is better.
Oh, it is. However, he kept sending takedowns, and eventually YouTube, probably just exhausted from his bullshit, terminated Right Wing Watch's account, arguing that it was their third strike. In response to this abuse of YouTube's takedown policy, Klingenschmidt released a press release congratulating himself, saying, David takes down Goliath.
Okay. Calm down.
Can we just delete
yeah.
YouTube?
Right?
I'm over it.
It's all trash.
It's not, there's nothing to be salvaged. All of the fun cat videos are on TikTok now.
Yep.
There's
That's
nothing
fine.
good there.
It's except our YouTube channel, which
we
is
have a YouTube channel.
Whatever.
so, despite Right Wing Watch's best efforts to
Don't
discredit,
use my words against me.
right?
In context.
Yeah,
Perfect context.
Whatever.
oops, we're fine.
have a
Despite
Patreon.
Right Wing Watch's best efforts to discredit this lunatic, he ran for the 15th district seat as a Republican in 2014 and fucking slayed it,
Oh, no.
winning with 70% of the vote in the general election.
Oh.
The seat was his. He had run on a platform of religious inclusion for only white Christians, feigning persecution by the state for his devotion to Jesus Christ. And this really landed with a lot of rural Colorado constituents.
Constituents.
Peanuts. Yeah.
Peanuts.
As did his hard stance on anti-LGBTQIA plus issues. From the Southern Poverty Law Center, quote, he has made numerous anti-LGBT statements over the years. He has claimed that demons and demonic spirits possess LGBT people, that demonic spirits at ABC News are bringing sodomy upon America, and has...
ABC. ABC is like the most milquetoast.
It's so neutral. It's so
just
soft.
It's just white bread of news.
Oh, well, 2.5 men
God.
is really bad.
Oh,
Bringing
poor
sodomy
ABC.
upon America. He has referred to gay adoption as a recruiting tool for homosexuality and a child abuse tool, and implied that gay parents lust after their children.
Ugh.
Everything that they say about their enemies
Is
is
what they
true
do
of them.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You doth protest too much. One publication, Westward, said of Gordon, which I mistyped as Gorgon, but I'll keep it. Klingenschmidt, nicknamed Dr. Chaps, prevailed.
Gorgon, a.k.a. Dr. Chaps.
Dr. Chaps prevailed in House District 15, a slice of El Paso County, Colorado, so conservative that a Republican candidate would probably have to slap a baby on live TV to lose. And if the tot was the offspring of a Democrat, that still might not be enough. But
Wow.
even by the area's standards, he's on the fringes. So that really tells you.
Oh.
Here are some of his best quotes. Quote, if the Bible will not give eternal benefits to homosexuals if they cannot inherit the kingdom of God, why, Klingenschmidt asked, on this world should they get bonus pay or employment benefits?
What?
That's
Yep.
the other thing that the right always does. Everything comes back to the Bible and money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like literally the only things they care about.
Yep. Yep.
It's so fucked up.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. He also said, quote, Wendy Davis is ruled by a demon of murder. She's actually just a lawyer and Democratic politician, but whatever.
Okay.
Quote, but homosexuality is a combat divider, dividing one's reason to live while taking breaks on the combat field to change diapers, all because their treacherous sin causes them to lose control of their bowels.
What the fuck?
Word
Just like a
salad.
homophobic thing about anal sex
I mean,
and the
or
military?
or if he's maybe
Kinda
he
what
was
it sounds
responding
like.
to like a don't ask, don't tell thing. The gays are not equipped to serve in the military because their treacherous sin will make them
Because
shit
they're-
themselves.
I think it's an anal sex thing.
It's probably all of the things.
Yeah.
Or like a imagined homophobic
Right.
anal sex thing. Oh
And
my
this
god.
guy-
Not a real thing.
No,
Yeah.
none of this is real. And
No.
he won.
Ugh.
This guy won. Okay,
I
moving
weep
on.
for our country.
Yep. Quote, you know what, citizens? If you don't have a gun, I'm telling you as a Christian chaplain, sell your clothes and buy a gun.
That's what
Oh.
Jesus would do.
Yep. It's
Shoot
time.
him up, Jesus.
Yep.
Jesus
White AR-15 Jesus says, it's time. The government persecution will be coming against you and you needs to arm yourselves.
Ugh. Did he
Yep.
say it like that?
Yep.
You needs to arm
You
yourselves.
needs to arm yourselves. Quote, Mr. Obama, you're not a healing Jesus. You cause cancer with your bad policies. I wonder if he's racist. I wonder if he's anti-Semitic. I wonder.
I wonder if he's racist.
I wonder if he's a fucking white supremacist.
Oh my
Quote,
God.
it is possible for the devil to inhabit animals the same way he inhabits humans, and that causes a sin of lust. Tell me you thought a goat was hot without
Yeah.
telling me you thought a goat was hot.
He just admitted to being sexually attracted
Yeah.
to animals.
I can tell you from experience, it is impossible for the devil to inhabit animals and cause the sin of lust.
Tell me you thought a goat was hot without, telling me you thought a goat was hot.
Oh my God, he wants to fuck a donkey.
Yep. Okay, I want this one on a
It's not
t-shirt.
his fault, it's the devil.
No.
That was fucking good.
I want this one on a t-shirt. Quote, sodomy will always be a sin with God, even if it's legal in Massachusetts. Why is that not like Target's new Pride line? Get at me, Target.
It is at Walmart.
It totally is. It's Walmart's Pride line. Even if it's legal in Massachusetts.
Specifically.
Fill in
Yeah.
it's just a blank line. Will always be a sin with God, even if it's legal in Massachusetts.
1,000%. And then the blank line has like a little whiteboard spot on it, so you
Yeah.
can write in whatever sin of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sin of the day t-shirts. Done. Trademark. TM.
Mhm. Copyright infringement.
Copyright.
Plagiarism.
You're on my
Maybe
rights.
Maybe today, Satan.
Get out of my rights. Maybe today, Satan. And
Dr.
quote,
Chaps.
this one's really good and topical. If you get 3 women and a dog together and they all mate together, they're not going to have a baby.
And him and his animal sex.
Yeah.
He wants to fuck every animal on
does.
planet
He
Earth.
really has a thing
He
for
is struggling
animals.
with his own bestiality, his
yeah.
urges.
He's
Tell me you
his
thought a goat was
hot without telling me.
Oh my God.
And apparently a dog. If you get 3 women and a dog together and they all mate together, they're not going to have a baby.
Oh,
Sure
my-
aren't.
Sure
Yeah.
aren't.
Thank goodness.
I mean,
Can you imagine the baby? Jesus.
oh my God. I would take that baby in your congressional seat
Yeah.
over you.
Absolutely, I would.
He also called for a boycott of Disney because the live-action Beauty and the Beast was using demonic spirits to turn kids gay.
He is so into sex with animals.
I know. And that
We've
this
all
film,
been attracted to the Beast.
I mean,
though.
get
Absolutely.
over
The
it.
Beast
The
is way
Beast,
cuter than the prince that
1,000.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
Beast
never
can
trust a blonde man.
get
No.
it. Yeah, never. And that this film had exclusively gay scenes between Gaston and his sidekick LeFou. LeFou, sorry. Which, like, is absolutely correct, but it
Yeah.
won't turn kids gay, so chill.
Well, Gaston might have had some kids realize that they were gay, but they were
Sure.
already
Good.
gay.
That's
Right.
what Disney movies are there for.
Right.
Yup.
Hello,
Realizing
young
self-actualization.
Yeah, Simba, teenage Simba. You fucking kidding
my
me?
God, in that Hakuna Matata montage where
And
they
it's
are
just
walking
that one
across
little
the
part.
log and he is a teenager for 8 seconds, my entire basement flooded.
Casper the ghost.
Oh,
Casper!
my God.
Oh, I have goosebumps. We need to wrap this up. I have a
Holy
lot of movies to watch.
Shit. I forgot about when Devin Sawwell was
Yeah.
Casper for like
For, like,
2 minutes at the
2
end.
seconds.
And then
He's
that
so
weird
fucking
Backstreet Boys
hot.
video like took place in that room where they had the
Mhm.
Halloween dance.
Yeah.
Also,
Anyway.
when
The 90s were wild, y'all.
Binks became the
Oh,
boy again.
Oh my
Beans,
God.
What took you so long?
Oh, he's so cute.
Factory Beans. Okay.
Fuck me up, Binks. Maybe that's why I
But
like
just to
cats
be
so
clear,
much.
the only one of those animals I was attracted to was
Was
the beast.
Simba
Yeah.
and the Beast.
Maybe he has a point about Disney.
You know what? No, but it's not making me gay. It's
Oh,
making me buggered. Bestiality. So he's still wrong. So he ran for re-election. He served from 2014 to 2016 or some shit. And then he ran for re-election in 2017 and did not win.
Still, too recent.
Too recent and too long. As for what he's up to now, it seems he's taken a step back from politics to focus on the continuation of his organization, Pray in Jesus' Name, which has been listed as an anti-LGBT hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Yeah.
You don't say. Through
Weird.
his, quote, ministry, he alleges to have, quote, performed an exorcism on a lesbian soldier who was a rape victim who had come to him for counseling after the assault.
No, honey.
I hope and pray that every piece of that was just completely fabricated out of thin air and that
I hope that too.
God.
But also, like, I wouldn't be surprised if a sexual assault happened while you were serving and you sought counsel from your chaplain
And then he
and you found this fucking guy.
Well, and
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
of gay people are Christian.
Sure.
So
yeah.
it's like, whoa, I'm going to go to the chaplain. I'm going to talk to them like a counselor. And
Yep.
then you accident. Maybe
and then they're
accidentally
like,
get this
I
fucking
know what
guy.
you need.
Yep.
An exorcism.
And he said, quote, I looked into her eyes as she began to weep, and I said, you foul spirit of lesbianism, this woman has renounced you. Come out of her in Jesus' name. And she began to wrestle with that, and suddenly her eyes began to bug out. And then she began to weep and weep and weep as the Holy Spirit forgave her sins.
The rape
Ew.
victim.
Her
I-
sins.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I don't want these people to exist.
At all.
They don't have any redeeming qualities. This ink print man with his face.
Where is my chin? Oops, all forehead. Should just quietly
Disgusting.
resign
They don't
to the
have any
woods.
redeeming qualities.
Just
They're
go away.
monsters.
Yeah.
They are monsters.
They are a scourge.
Yep.
They actively make people's lives
Worse.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Every
Way worse.
opportunity.
Yes, he further traumatized this woman who went through a sexual assault and her
I'm hoping
fucking
he made
sexual.
the whole thing up. I'm hoping.
I
Who
don't know.
knows?
I just don't think he did. I think that he
I
was
do
approached
believe
by
her
a
eyes
victim.
bugged out
Right.
when he said what he
Right.
said.
I think he was approached by a victim of sexual assault who was seeking religious counsel and comfort, and,
And
he
he
fucking
did this.
shit all over it
Yeah.
and further traumatized her. I
Yeah.
believe that 100%.
Yeah.
He's a fucking psycho. And he was working on a book in which he said, quote, President Obama is ruled by at least 50 different evil spirits. So he's got a lot going on right now.
Lot
right?
to count.
At least.
Lot to
Yeah.
tally up.
He's
minimum.
got a lot going for him. So keep us updated, Dr. Chaps. We can't wait to hear what's next for you.
What's he doing now?
That's
Writing
the
his
most recent
book and
update.
Praying in Jesus' name.
Yeah,
my God.
he's working on his he's like working for his organization, Pray in Jesus' Name.
His
the
hate
hate
group.
group. Yep. Yep.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
a competition. All right.
All the hope in the world for our country.
Well done. And well done to Stephen O'Hara for letting us pick a Beyond Stupid.
Yeah.
We had a lot of material to choose from.
We
Yeah.
had a lot to say.
Lot going on. Lot to unpack. Let's go watch The Lion
Casper.
King and Beauty and the Beast and Casper on a triple marathon. I'm
And
canceling
X-Files.
and X-Files. I have a lot of plans to cancel this afternoon. See you
gotta
guys
go.
later.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.